this sun. We love it. Today, talking about the consequences of binge eating. So, disclaimer, this podcast, this YouTube video is not advocating for eating disorders or self-harm. So please take care while listening or watching. So, if you are new here, my name is Rachel. I'm bringing healthy back, and I have a history with restrictive eating and binge eating. Many more years of binge eating. So I looked up the consequences on our body, on our mind, on our well-being of binge eating. And this is not me trying to scare you. This is more of an educational thing. And I know from being a recovered binge eater that I don't expect this to trigger you to stop binge eating right now. Because I think all of us, if you are struggling with your relationship with food, specifically binge eating, because that's what I'm talking about today, know that it's not healthy, but that's not enough to stop you. And I will leave some of my other episodes linked down below as to what helped me and what may help you heal from binge eating, and I'll talk very briefly about that at the end of today's episode, so stay tuned for that. So today's resources that I used are the Mayo Clinic website, the Johns Hopkins website, Healthline, and the Cleveland Clinic website, and I'll leave those linked down below as well if you guys are interested in more information. So, consequences of binge eating: poor quality of life, and this goes into physical, mental, and social, the social aspects of binge eating. It takes up your time, it takes up your mental headspace, it distracts you, it might hinder your social life. And so that goes into problems functioning in life, school, work, your social life, reduce your productivity, distract you because your mind is on food, your mind is on your body. It consumes your mind, and then you physically feel it after you binge eat, so it's hard to be happy and social and productive after you've binged. Social isolation, because you kind of feel like trash afterwards, and you may not want to be around people, or you want to binge, so you isolate yourself. Obesity. You are binge eating. You are eating a lot of food. You are eating a lot of food on a pretty regular basis, or often, maybe every night. It doesn't have to be every night, but obesity is a very common result of binge eating because you're taking in more food than your body needs. And there are a lot of complications that go along with obesity, but some of these consequences of binge eating may be from the binge eating itself, but may also be just a result of being overweight. So that includes heart disease, type 2 diabetes, gastroesophageal reflux disease, also known as GERD. I feel like I've heard of GERD, but not the full name of it. Some sleeping-related breathing disorders, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, gallbladder disease, some types of cancer, which I thought was curious, and I don't know how they can specifically link that. So I have questions about that one specifically. Fatty liver disease and osteoarthritis. Very, very interesting about the osteoarthritis, though. Just like the cancer. But then there are mental health links to binge eating: depression, bipolar disorder, anxiety, and substance use disorders. And I can definitely see how binge eating and depression can be linked. Like, are you depressed because you're struggling with binge eating, or are you binge eating because you're struggling with depression? I don't know. It's a That may be a tough one to figure out, but I can definitely see the link. And then there are bodily functions that could be disturbed, sexual functions, physical growth and development, appetite. It's hard to know your appetite when you're always full if you're binge eating. Digestion, holy cow. If you're struggling with binge eating, you know this, but digestion, binge eating wreaks havoc on your digestion. Your belly has a hangover. I won't get into it. You can figure it out. You put a lot of food in there, it has to go someplace. Sleep, heart and kidney function, emotions, 100%. Your thinking and your memory, which makes me sad because like I struggled with binge eating for many years, and I'm like, how much did it affect my thinking and my memory, and I don't even know about it, which is maybe a blessing in disguise. Health risks. I feel like these are all the same, but stick with me here. Health risks. Chronic pain conditions, asthma, irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. In women specifically, health risks can come down to fertility problems, pregnancy complications, development of polycystic ovary syndrome. I thought it was polycystic ovarian syndrome, but I don't know. That's just what the website said. How it can affect you socially. You can start becoming very secretive, avoidant, lying, stealing, and hoarding food, and self-loathing. And this is just information. Okay, I want the information, like I said at the beginning, it's not going to heal you. It's not going to trigger you to go into recovery. It may prompt you to investigate and really get serious about recovery because you don't want to end up super sick. Like you want to heal. I don't think there's anyone out there struggling with their relationship with food, struggling with binge eating, who is happy where they're at. But there is hope for healing. And like I said, I have some episodes that I'm going to link down below for you guys about what helped me heal. And I didn't have a perfect recovery. I don't think there's such a thing as perfect recovery. My recovery took a very long time because I didn't ask for help. I think that's a big thing. But some things that may help you heal from binge eating is keeping a food mood diary. So this isn't going to stop you from binge eating, but it's just to keep track and maybe identify triggers, things that trigger you to binge eat. So you don't necessarily keep the diary like when you're eating, but like afterwards. Think back, like what happened before this binge? What happened that triggered this binge? Were you angry? Were you sad? Were you lonely? Were you tired? Were you frustrated? Whatever it may be. Practice mindfulness. I think it's really important, even if you know you're going into a binge. Sit down. Like, this is not advocating for binge eating, but I've been there. You know you don't want to, but you know you're going to do it. Sit down. Like, maybe actually put your food on a plate, in a bowl. Like, sit, just focus on it. Don't be doing other things. Just don't have the TV on, nothing. Just sit down with yourself in that moment. But then in healthy times too, when you're just eating, when you feel okay, you're going to eat a meal, you're going to eat a snack, sit down, eliminate distractions, and just be in the moment. Take your time eating, enjoy the food, be mindful. Talk to someone you trust and who won't judge you. You might have a friend, you might have a loved one. This might be a therapist for you. I didn't do therapy, so I can't testify to that. But you're not alone in this. You're not alone in this. Choose nutritious food. So that may require you to do some research on what foods are better for me. What are more nutrient dense foods? Because one reason that for me leads to overeating or having cravings is I don't have enough nutrients, so my body's like, eat more food because we need more nutrients, but we don't have them, so eat, even if I don't feel hungry. Focus on nutrient-dense foods. Move your body, exercise. It doesn't have to be going to the gym, it doesn't have to be intense, but it can be at home. Find a workout video or a yoga video or a stretching video, Pilates, whatever, on YouTube and do it for 10 minutes. Walk around the block. Somehow incorporate movement into your daily life. It helps. It releases good chemicals in your brain, and it really boosts your mood and can bring you out of low places. Sleep. If you don't have enough sleep, food is energy. So sometimes when you are tired, you will have cravings because your body's like, well, if you're not going to put me to sleep, I need food to stay awake. Hydrate. Similar to food, like our body can take in water through food. Fruits and veggies are very water rich. And so sometimes if we're thirsty, our body will cue us that we're hungry. I'm not saying every time you're hungry, like drink a glass of water so you're not hungry anymore. I'm just saying stay hydrated. Sip on water, sip on tea, I say stay away from juices and pop and super sugary things, but stay hydrated, sip on water throughout the day. And then create. And this one seems kind of weird, but I found it super helpful to tap into your inner child. Find something that you love to do with your hands, whether it's knitting, cooking even, baking, coloring, creating content, playing, like, I don't know, Minecraft, I don't know, whatever way you feel creative. Paint, do puzzles. Just turn the screens off, or you could do it while you're watching TV or something, just keeping your hands busy. But there's something about creating and just tapping into our inner child that it's relaxing, it's peaceful. It can be a coping mechanism to stressful situations. So there are a lot of downfalls to binge eating. We all know it's not good, but there is hope for healing. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. This is just educational. I learned some things today. It's not meant to scare you. And I want you guys to heal your relationship with food. So thanks for listening. Subscribe or follow if you want more content. If on healing your relationship with food, that's what I'm here for. So I'll see you guys in the next video.